Welcome, everybody. I am Captain Foley, and as always, I am joined by my trusty sidekick, Commander
Hi
Cockings.
guys.
Today, we are here to bring yet another person into the Trekyards family, someone who has done a lot for Star Trek, even if I didn't know his name at first.
It's true. There are all people in front of the camera, those behind it, those designers of the ships, and then there's those people that make the licensed things that we all collect and enjoy. So it's my pleasure to welcome to the show Ben Robinson. Hi Ben.
Hi.
Well, first off, Ben, I want to ask, how long have you been working on Trek projects? And, people know your name from the Eaglemoss collection, but you've done far more than that. So just give us a brief history of your Star Trek experience.
Oh God, it's not brief. 20 years. It'd be 20 years this year, I think. I might have lost touch actually. It might already be 20 years. I started work on the Star Trek fact files, which I did. I worked on for the first year or so of it being on. Yeah, that does make me feel very old. It looks very old now as well. Is that part 80? Yeah, that was after I kind of moved off a little bit by that point. So I did that, which ran for 6 years. And we commissioned an enormous number of illustrations for it. And then that got taken to the States, but because of licensing reasons and because of the license that Simon Schuster had at the time, it had to be done in a slightly different format. We couldn't do it the same way. So I did a Star Trek the magazine, which is a perfect band magazine that ran for 4 years in the States. Then I was also involved in a few DVD collections, which reused a lot of material from the fact files. And there's stuff that happened in Japan and Germany and France and stuff like that, which most people don't know about. And then, what did I do next? Then I did a Haynes manual for the Enterprise. And then we've started work on the ships by this point. That's such a long process. It took us about 3 years to get from originally thinking about that to getting it out. And in the middle of that, I did the Haynes manual for the Klingon Bird of Prey, which actually I really, really enjoy. I'm really proud of that. And by that point, the ships had launched. And we've now done, I think I just sent out the files for issue 115. So I've started 115 issues, and I'm trying to collate material for the other 15 that we've definitely got confirmed. I'd like to think there'd be more. And we started doing them in different sizes. We've been doing dedication plaques. We've been looking at a few other things that I hope we'll be announcing this year. I just started collecting Battlestar Galactica models from Mojo, actually. It's not exactly Star Trek, but it's kind of related.
Well, that's exciting, Ben. Sign me up. I'll happily buy some of those models from you.
Good. That's good. At least one person. That's always a good start. I kind of figured that there'd be more than one person who likes Star Trek who likes Battlestar Galactica.
That's cool.
Well, I got to say, even though I didn't know your name, I've obviously contributed to a lot of stuff I have. I have almost all the Star Trek magazines. I've got the Haynes manual, so great to finally meet you.
Yeah, well, the pleasure's mine. Yeah, I've filled a lot of people's houses up. It's a lot of stuff.
You've emptied a lot of wallets.
Sometimes I feel pleased about it. Sometimes I feel guilty. I get a lot of things, particularly on the fact files, which by the time you got to the end, we were on, I think like 16 binders. And there were people saying I've had to buy a shed in order to just to accommodate these.
And Ben, I literally have about 13 of them because I bought them all at one point. I say that later in the script, but it's certainly a hassle moving them all.
Yeah, it is. I don't have them. I have them digitally, actually. And we're just, funnily enough, we're doing only in Japan at the moment. They're doing a thing where you can buy a tablet with the entire Star Trek fact files on in Japanese.
That's interesting.
With the extra 12 issues that were only done for Japan as well.
Cool. Sort of going back to the roots and doing some more bonus stuff. But with all that thing, you didn't sort of mention how and why. So why did you go into the fact files at the start? I mean, you say 20 years of Star Trek, and you roll it off the tongue as if it's normal, but how did you start in the Star Trek world?
It's completely normal for me. I entered an advert in The Guardian. I was working for John Kindersley. This was in the days before the internet. I remember asking people if they had email, and they would say, "I think so." I got email. So we were doing. There was John Kindersley Multimedia, which was stuff on CD, where I learned quite a lot about sort of very early CG stuff. I mean, there were no CGTV things at that point. And there was an advert saying, do you have experience of working in publishing and do you know a lot about Star Trek? And I thought, yes, actually, that's kind of me. So I answered the advert and then started work, and they said, oh, this thing, it might last a year, maybe two. And then it kind of became a career.
Sounds like Trekyards.
Most of my life doing this now. I mean, the great thing about it is I just got this incredible sandbox, because particularly when we had the magazine, it was like, okay, what do you want to put in the magazine this month? And I'd be like, oh, well, who should I interview? Let's talk to Nick Meyer. Or let's go and see Mike Jeffries. I mean, that was a little different because we actually had a tiny office on the Paramount lot. We were in the paint loft. It was kind of like this office that everyone had forgotten existed. And Penny Judah used to work for us. She was one of the members of the art department. She was what's called an art coordinator. She basically sort of helped move stuff around. And she came to work for us at the time. And so we had an address on the Paramount lot. So we'd go out. I'd go out for a couple of weeks every year, obviously based in London. And go and see people. So, I spent a very nice day with Matt and Marianne, and went going through all his stuff, which was great because obviously he died a couple of years after that. But most of what I did iPhone interviews. This is in the days before Skype. And, some people like Ira Bear in particular, Ira and Nick, and obviously a lot of the artists, like John Eves. I talked to John yesterday. I just talk to you again and again. What's great about Star Trek is that it's not just like a movie thing where it's like, oh, Sigourney Weaver, and then in like 4 years' time you talk to Sigourney Weaver again. You could go back to people and you'd form relationships and get to know people. So, I did think, we did this book, this thing where we collected a lot of the articles from the magazine, and I realized we hadn't sent it out to all the people who contributed to it. So I was writing this email to going, oh guys, I want to send you a copy of the book. I want to send you a copy of the book. And I looked at it and I was like, my God, the CCs on this email is like the greatest Star Trek art department of all time, So yeah. I felt great. That was nice.
Yeah, my Skype contact list is like 95% Star Trek alumni.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
So a lot of work put into that for sure. Now let's move into the Eaglemoss and the Starship collection. What is it, and why should people be excited for it?
It is the largest ever collection, which isn't actually that difficult, of die-cast Star Trek ships. So typically what happens is that a company will come along and they'll sign a license and they'll do, 6 ships. They'll do, Enterprises, Voyager. I'm sure there'll be people making models of Discovery. But what we do is about big collections of things. So, we start off knowing we're going to do 60 or 70. And then, if enough people keep buying and it's popular enough, then we just carry on giving them stuff until they say, no, actually, you know what, I really don't want to buy this third freighter from the left from the obscure episode of TNG. But so that's what it is. It's sort of, I hope, reflects my OCD. Every issue comes with a magazine, which is basically what a part work is that we have these magazines, and that means that we can get different kind of channels of distribution. So that's got a ton of stuff that actually explains what you're looking at, what it was in the episode, but also how it came to be, which I think is really important. I mean, I'm one of the first Star Trek books was After Star Trek, which I loved, but you look at all these pictures and I go, but what is it? Some of the captions are wrong in there as well. So I've always liked to do exactly what you guys do, which is, to explain how and why something looks the way it does. So, that's I guess that's it. There are, like I said, I think 90 somethings on sale now in the UK. It's a little bit behind that in the US. 89. Oh God, the Enterprise chair. You see, now that's the kind of thing this collection does that nothing else does. A ship that almost appeared on screen.
Yeah, like having you on is the perfect fit for Trekyards. I mean, we talk about ships, you make the ships. We're using a lot of your fact files for research materials. I know that. So it's getting the word out there, and it's a great marriage between us. It is worth
pointing out, I've been trying to get you on the show for a good year and 3/4 now. Ben.
I'm sorry, I'm a very, very busy man. I don't know, if you're in England, you'll have seen that we just launched a build-up DeLorean, which was something that's taken me 3 years to get, which bizarrely has Star Trek connection. So I go and find the best real replica DeLorean in the world. It turns out to be owned by Terry Matalas, who used to be Brannan's assistant on Voyager. So I am up there with this. Terry, when did you last see Joe? When did you do that? And then the other thing we've launched literally a couple of days ago is the Star Trek graphic novels collection. So, and I continue doing Doctor Who figurines. We have a massive DC graphic novel collection, which I look after as well. There's a ton of stuff. So
anyone that knows you, Ben, knows you are stupidly busy and you do it all to yourself, as we do here. But it's all part of the fun.
I don't quite do it myself, but stupidly busy. It's the problem if you do something that you like. I think is that you kind of, instead of going, oh well, just that'll do, you think, no, I just well.
But I think that is enough for this time, guys. We just want to give you an introduction to Ben, and we'll talk to you later on. And every time, obviously, we have an Eaglemoss ship from one of the ships we're covering, I will, as you all know, do a flyby. It's the kind of thing I do. There's lots more to talk about, and like I said, finally introduce Ben to our audience. So welcome to Trekyards family, Ben.
Good to see you. Good to be.
Yes, welcome. I'm looking forward to talking to you more. I know we've got a few more things to talk to you about. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this announcement, and look forward to more from Ben. So until then, guys, we are Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Conrad Cockins.
And I was Ben Robinson.
And we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.